me today on Cooking with Cindy. Today I'm going to show you a super easy way of making chicken enchiladas. Now this is my take on a sweet and savory, and it's a super fast recipe that doesn't require a lot of time, a lot of ingredients. I know as a mom, I'm super busy sometimes and I don't really have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen, or I have starving people that are waiting for me to get home and make dinner. I'm going to show you my version of how I twerked just a regular enchilada sauce and added my own ingredients to make it my own. So I'm going to show you what we're going to need for this recipe. So for this recipe, we're going to need a whole rotisserie chicken. I've already had one of my kids shred it for me and stuff, so it's ready to go. I'm also going to be using mozzarella cheese and also queso fresco. Totally up to you what type of cheese you choose. You can use either the mozzarella plain or Monterey Jack, or cheddar is also a good alternative. I'm also going to be using spinach that I've already cut up into smaller pieces. Now this is the enchilada sauce that I'm going to be using. It's a mild one. That's all they had. Normally I like to do the medium heat. The sour cream, ground cinnamon, the chocolate abuelita, which is used to make hot chocolate drink, cabbage, onion. I'm going to be using half an onion, but it's already been diced up, ready to go. Some dark brown sugar, my corn tortillas, and my oil so I can fry. Now I've just placed my tortilla in the oil, and I'm only going to let it fry just for a couple of seconds on each side. And then I'm going to place it aside on a plate and continue the process. So you don't want to over fry. You still want it soft, but you just want it to have a little bit of that fry taste. Opened up my can of enchilada salsa, and I'm going to pour it in a deep size pot. I'm going to make sure everything is in there. And then I'm going to add the bar of chocolate. Now this is my bar of chocolate. I'm going to place it inside. And then I'm going to add a dash of cinnamon. And then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of the dark brown sugar. And then I'll taste it. It's totally up to you how sweet you want this. If you don't really want it sweet at all, then just leave the chocolate and the cinnamon in there. Now I've added the hot chocolate bar, and I'm going to just add a dash of the cinnamon. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar. Now like I said, it's totally up to you. You want them sweeter, you add more. If you want them less sweet, add 1 or don't add any at all. And then I'm going to give that a good mix. And I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, but I'm going to be coming to check on it and giving it a stir occasionally, because what I want is for the chocolate to dissolve. So you see it's still whole, so I'm just going to let it sit, and in the meanwhile I'm going to go work on my chicken. So while my sauce is in the back heating up, I'm going to sit here and mix the chicken. Now for this, I'm not going to be using the whole chicken just because I know the number of people I'm going to be feeding. And so what I recommend normally is to count how many enchiladas you're going to make per person and then fry the tortillas, and that way it makes your process much easier. And then that way you also know if you need the whole chicken or just a couple. Whatever is left over, normally I like to make quesadillas the next day, or if they want more enchiladas, I'll make them more. So I've added a little bit more than half, and then I'm going to mix in my spinach. And then I'm also going to mix in my chopped onions. And now I'm going to take some of my queso fresco, about half a pound, even a little less, and I'm just going to place it in here. Now for this, you're actually not gonna need to season or anything because the rotisserie chicken already does have seasoning, and it's actually pretty good, so no seasoning required. And so we're doing this. Make sure it's all crumbled up to smaller pieces. And then give it a good mix, just so every enchilada will get some of that cheese and some of that chicken, spinach, and onion. So this mix is actually already done. Now the mozzarella will actually go on top of the enchiladas once they're all rolled up and ready to go. So now I'm gonna chop up my cabbage that I'm gonna use for topping. Okay, now I've cut up my cabbage in half and I'm gonna cut it. Now, if you don't like cabbage and you prefer lettuce, it's okay to use lettuce. My personal taste, I prefer the cabbage just because I feel like it's crunchier than the lettuce. So it's totally up to you. So after a good 6-7 minutes, I've turned this off. As you can see, the chocolate has dissolved, and now this is ready so I can start assembling the enchiladas. Okay, so I'm gonna be using a cookie sheet and I've lined it with parchment paper. I just feel like everything goes by much smoother with it. And I'm gonna dip my tortillas that I've already fried for a couple seconds on each side. And I'm gonna place it down. Now here, normally my hands are clean and everything, so I just like to use my hands. And we just roll it. And then just put it there up against this, and then do the same process over. I want to make sure that all ingredients are in the enchilada, and then just roll it and put it up against the next one. So I've completed wrapping up and assembling all my enchiladas. Now I still have sauce, so I do like to save extra sauce, so once this is out of the oven I also like to put some, but I'm gonna just put a little bit more across them. And after this, I'm gonna top with the mozzarella cheese, just all across. Make sure that they all get some. So my oven is already at 375, so I'm gonna stick these in the oven for about 15 minutes, just so the cheese melts and everything comes together. And there they go. So I've taken my enchiladas out of the oven, and now I'm just gonna put a little bit of the sauce on top to top them up. So I've added some sauce on top. Now I'm gonna add some cabbage, some queso fresco to top it off, and some sour cream. And now let's give it a try. I swear, enchiladas rellenos are one of my favorite Mexican dishes, and this is heaven for me. So I hope you enjoyed the process of making these fast enchiladas and they were fast enough for you. Hopefully once you get the hang of things, you'll be making them in no time. Normally it takes me from start to finish about 25 minutes. I kid you not, if not less. Plus the time that it goes into the oven. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you.
If you did this for, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below what you've thought of this recipe.